I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome back to Focus Today, and what a delight to have with us today Jeff Crouere. He's a columnist and the author of America's Last Chance, and you can check out there's a picture of the book on the screen, and you can check it out at Amazon or Barnes & Noble, America's Last Chance. You can talk to him through his website, Jeff Crouere, and it's spelled CROUERE.com. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me. Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you. Happy New Year. Well, listen, a lot to talk about. I did ask the question on a couple of guests. Do you think that the Republicans in the Senate will hold together during these confirmation hearings of President Trump's cabinet investigation?
You know, I hope so. I hope the Republicans are going to back him. I mean, he was the one elected by the nation. He's the one that I think has the mandate, and he should be allowed to put his team together. And I think he's really come up with a great team. So I'm hoping his appointees are going to be approved. I'm hoping his agenda is going to be passed. But I am worried about some of these Republicans. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of these Republicans in Congress I'm not confident about.
All right, it only takes a couple to really mess things up, and there are a couple of his cabinet appointees that could be in for a tough go. Which ones do you think are going to get the hardest vetting?
Well, I'll start off with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. I think he's going to have a challenge, but I heard McCain the other day say that he's going to give him a fair chance, and he seemed to be a little more supportive of him than he had previously said. So I think the worry is that Tillerson is too connected to Russia, and there's this focus on Russia right now, as we saw with those hearings yesterday. I think also you might have Jeff Sessions get some flack for his supposed racist comments back in 1986 that he denies. And, of course, he was nominated for a judgeship during the Reagan administration and was not approved back in 1986. I'm hoping that his nomination as Attorney General will be approved by his colleagues, the people that he worked with in the Senate, but I know there's a lot of opposition to it.
Chuck Schumer, Senator Schumer, he's now the new minority leader, and he's coming out swinging at all levels, but they lost. Do you think he's going to have much of an impact during all of this?
I hope not. You know what Donald Trump called him this week, a clown. I hope not. I would think that, Trump would certainly have the support of the American people, and I would hope the Democrats are going to listen to the American people. But there seems to be a faction of the left wing of the Democratic Party that do not want to work with Donald Trump on anything. And I think their position is, as represented by Maxine Waters, who recently said in an interview that she doesn't ever plan to meet with Trump, never be cooperative, never extend a hand of cooperation. And I think a lot of these Democrats feel the same way. They're just going to oppose him on everything, no matter what he does.
All right. So is that the old establishment part of the Democratic Party? I mean, they did reelect Nancy Pelosi to be the minority leader in the House, and there are these loud ones that are pushing back. But there was a poll out just the other day that said 56, 57% of the Democrats want Trump to succeed.
I call those the patriotic Democrats. I mean, kudos to the Democrats across the country who want the president to do well. The problem is that the leadership of the party is not listening to their people. So, yeah, you're right. The left-wing establishment, as represented by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, people like Maxine Waters, they're really gearing up for a continual fight with Donald Trump. I did hear some say Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, the Democrat, say he's trying to find some areas he can work with the president on, and hopefully more Democrats will follow his lead as opposed to Schumer and Pelosi.
Do you think there's a division coming in the Democratic Party, much like we've seen in the Republican Party?
I do. And if the Democrats are smart, they're going to get away from this old style of leadership and try to broaden their party. Right now, the Democrats have a base on the left coast. They have a base on the East Coast and in the urban areas. And Middle America, the South, the Midwest, the Rust Belt, they've lost all of that. So that's why Trump won in 31 states in November.
All right, so how can the Democrats really hurt Trump? They didn't win. They lost by a substantial margin. Now, California is going to hire former Attorney General Eric Holder to go out and just kind of give the president fits. But at the end of the day, aren't they just further digging a hole?
I think they are. I think they're just making their situation much worse. I mean, you know, during the 8 years of Obama, they've lost over 1,000 seats across the country.
Yeah.
They're now in the majority in only 13 legislative bodies. They have less than 20 governors. So, yeah, they're just creating a worse situation for themselves because, as you cited in that poll, most Americans want the Democrats to work with Donald Trump and want Trump to succeed. So they're just creating more headaches for themselves. And you know what I say? Fine, because that kind of left-wing ideology, I hope, does fail.
And it looks like it spilled over into the obviously left wing of the media, which is a big portion of the media. And they got caught on fake news and everything else. What do you think happens to the media during all this?
The media just loses more and more credibility, don't they? I mean, the media has become just part and parcel of the Democrat Party. And CNN, I was watching it the other day, having a hard time getting through it. They were so relentlessly negative. They've just given up all objectivity. So I think the media becomes more and more irrelevant, and people go to this program and my talk show and other sources for information and just say goodbye to the mainstream news media.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then we're seeing supposedly some conservatives hop to the liberal media. We've watched Megyn Kelly go over to NBC and Greta now go over to MSNBC. They may be in for a shock. They may not get away with it.
I don't know if either of those two ladies really I would characterize as conservatives. I think Greta is a fair journalist, and I wish her well. I think Megyn Kelly is someone who's been exposed as someone who's all about herself, really. And I don't think she's really a conservative. And I'll be very interested to see how well she does on NBC. She's trying to do, I guess, what Oprah did and have a daily show. And it didn't work for Katie Couric, didn't work for Anderson Cooper. I'd be shocked if it's going to work for Megyn Kelly.
That's a great point. It's a great point. Okay, Jeff, what do you want to see President Trump do on Inauguration Day? What would you like to see him sign right up there while he's giving his inauguration speech?
Wow. You know what? I know there's some executive orders he can rescind. I know that there's a lot that needs to be done in Congress. From what I understand, they're already working on getting that wall built ASAP. I think we need to get Obamacare repealed and replaced ASAP. I think what he needs to do is make sure that American people understand that we're not going to close Gitmo, that we're going to keep it open. I know President Obama is releasing 24 more terrorists any day now. So hopefully he'll be able to rescind some of Obama's executive orders. Hopefully he'll be able to light a fire under Congress so that they can act quickly. As we discussed, I'm worried about Congress. I'm worried about some of the old guard there. And I'm thinking that President Trump is going to really work hard to try to go around them and go directly to the American people. And I think he's going to use Twitter, social media to do that.
Were you surprised of how impactful his tweet was the first day of the 115th session when he went after him and said, come on, you guys, you got other things to worry about besides gutting the ethics committee?
Totally. He just made the House of Representatives look foolish. And I think he was right because, as he pointed out, there's so many important things that need to be done. He's got to get his tax plan passed. He's got to get Obamacare repealed. We got to get the wall built. They're worried about an ethics committee. I mean, it really shows how petty some of these people in Congress are, some of these folks that have been there for too long. I also like Ted Cruz's constitutional amendment for term limits. I would certainly be in favor of that. I know that's part of the Trump agenda, too. But I think this shows that Donald Trump maybe is the guy calling the shots, not Paul Ryan, and that's a good thing.
All right. We know that the first 100 days got a lot of attachments to it, but what about the first 100 hours? They're saying now that he could come out with a whole slew of things within a couple of days. Do you think that will happen?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of different reports about what he could be doing immediately. I do believe that this is going to be a man who's going to hit the ground running and do everything possible that he can do within the law. I've been worried about what Obama's been doing in these final days. I know one of the things Obama did was gobble up area 3 times the size of Texas and put it off limits to any energy exploration, any private use. I don't know if that's something that Donald Trump can undo, but that's just one of the many things that this president has been doing in his final days. I think he's trying to handcuff Donald Trump, and I'm hoping Trump can figure out ways to rescind some of these things that Obama has done.
Hey, Jeff, you're a delight. I wish I had more time with you. Let's connect again soon. And America's Last Chance is the name of his book, the title of his book. There's a picture of it there on the screen. Check it out at Amazon or at Barnes & Noble. America's Last Chance by Jeff Crouere. And by the way, his last name is spelled C-R-O-U-E-R-E. And you can go to jeffcrouere.com. Thanks, Jeff. Let's get connected again, okay?
Hey, I enjoyed it. Thanks so much.
All right, God bless. All right, we'll be right back.